I said, be careful, and you all think I'm joking. I said, be careful, the trees are in cages where I came from for their own protection.
Yeah.
And people thought I was joking. But I really want to emphasize what I guess you could say I'm coining it or begging that we examine where we live and think of how we can desegregate wilderness. How access to wilderness came about for me. And by me, I mean as a person of African descent. And how segregation of land played out in access. And by that I mean what places had a color line. And we often like to think, because it's necessary to feel better about ourselves, that that was only someplace else in the country. But it was also in our beautiful Seattle. And so we find that Discovery Park is in the north part of Seattle, that is a part of the city that is predominantly white. It is not a coincidence. If you look at the University of Washington's website, you'll find about the history of this land and how the Exclusion Acts played out and who could live where. So therefore, when you have a park planned, it is planned for access for a particular group of people and not another group of people. The definition of wilderness is ridiculous. It is defined by the absence of people, to make something pristine with its absence of people, when in fact, the people were always there, and they were removed, and the place was labeled wilderness. And I know that I'm pushing against everything that I also believe. So I'm occupying a place of my own battle. I think that it's really important that we have remote wilderness areas. What am I trying to let you know is that the youth that over the 14 years ago when I founded the Urban Wilderness Project, the goal to take young people who otherwise would not have access to remote wilderness to take them out there. And that how then, if that's all I have access to, or if I've never had access to it at all, would I value it? Let's push it further. Let's take something like Discovery Park if we want people to fight and enjoy and push it. How much of what we have there can we bring further into the rest of our city? So how can we desegregate wilderness? And how can this be a model for it? So I really want to implore you to look beyond, to have that what Peter was talking about. Get a bigger vision, and let's argue about it. Because the definition for wilderness, I argue, like the definition for civil rights, at the signing of the Civil Rights Act, President Johnson said, freedom would be secure only if each generation fought to renew and enlarge its meaning. I think the same thing is true for wilderness if we'd like to have it in our urban environment and beyond. Thank you.